how can we learn from and utilize nature in order to build more sustainable cities in a context of climate change? And how can nature help cities adapt to increasing climate extremes and variability like floods, changes in temperatures, heat waves, windstorms, and landslides? Cities need concrete answers, guidance, and planning tools. To do so, cities look for new ways to learn from each other and work towards closer cooperation between academia, the private sector, as well as citizens. This is why we created the City-to-City Learning Lab on nature-based planning and adaptation. It's a transdisciplinary project with an approach that is very different to conventional projects. It is based on the identified local needs of municipalities and a mutual desire for an increased exchange of knowledge. Accordingly, the project aims and activities were jointly developed by all project participants. We come together for mutual learning and knowledge co-creation. Together, we analyze, compare, and learn from the integration of nature-based approaches for climate change adaptation in the daily planning practices of municipalities. We look into related barriers and drivers, like stakeholder involvement, collaboration between city and its citizens, policies and governance structures. We analyze how to overcome existing barriers and how to tap into existing potentials. To do this, a specific activity or project in each municipality is analyzed step by step from the project idea throughout detailed planning, procurement, implementation, maintenance, and follow-up. The City-to-City Learning Lab allows us to learn from each other in an engaging process, and importantly, it creates trust that opens up for new ideas and pathways towards sustainability.
Well, the aim of our project in Eslöv is to identify the areas within the city where urban densification can take place with relatively low impacts on ecosystem services. We also want to identify areas that need to be protected from future densification. These types of assessments are new for us, and we're still testing different approaches on how we can best link these new assessments to the formal planning system in our municipality. Identifying areas for densification and areas for protection help us to guide our future work. With the help of this information, we have already managed to include certain new rules for supporting nature-based solutions in our planning, like the protection of trees and stormwater retention. We are also working with ecological compensation to decrease the negative impacts that urban development can have on ecosystem services. This means that we are trying to compensate negative impacts from development by providing new values within the municipality through both municipal and private investment. Within the municipality, two things that so far have supported the process is the Municipal Comprehensive Plan, which explicitly includes the protection of ecosystem services as a key goal. The co-financing for the private sector is then ensured through formal agreements. The other key driver for advancing nature-based solutions has been the increasing interest and the competence of different stakeholders. But overall, the interest in nature-based solutions, as well as the knowledge, is still rather low. Well, there are multiple barriers. One barrier is the lack of understanding of the long-term benefits of nature-based solutions among politicians and other stakeholders. It is a common situation that developers or citizens favor short-term profitable solutions to the disadvantage of urban sustainability, and politicians sometimes just let it happen. Another barrier is the lack of municipality-owned land within the city centre. This land is mostly owned by the private sector, and we are currently working with them to formalize agreements that will help us to integrate nature-based solutions even in private development projects. A problem in general is also a high turnover among staff, which means a loss of knowledge and experience both for the municipality and for other stakeholders. Well, the value to us is enormous. To encourage future integration of nature-based solutions and adaptation in urban planning and governance, there is a necessity to identify common challenges and barriers and get general ideas about potential solutions. Learning from other stakeholders with different backgrounds and perspectives is very helpful in this process.